Zoom.
We're definitely live on my Facebook.
Okay, all right.
I can see
All right, here we go. All right. Welcome from Liverpool.
Live from Liverpool. Actually, what are we doing today? Love it.
This is your Beatles song.
I've never heard this one. All right, that's good, Dean.
Fade out.
All right. Welcome from Liverpool. Hey, everyone. We are on our way to Scotland. This is the ladies from PowHer Hour. How's everybody doing today?
We're excited.
My name is Veronica Valentino.
I'm
We are coming to you live from, we're actually in the ocean heading towards Scotland now. Yes, Glasgow. And we are our PowHer Hour, and we have an amazing guest today. I want to welcome my co-host, Miss Lisa Griggs. She's in Las Vegas. Miss Renee Rand, she's here with me. We have some amazing people on here today. And Gene, our guy Gene in Florida. Hey, don't forget to scan that QR code, okay? And make sure you like, follow, and share, and invite all those to our PowHer Hour on a Monday night. And Renee, how about that? We got to give a big shout out to our Ian Brown.
We certainly do. Ian was our driver today, and we went on a special personalized tour of Beatles today in Liverpool.
It was a hard day's night.
It was amazing. And this man knows his stuff. We had the best stories, the backgrounds, all the details, everything about the songs and the music. So again, Ian, we want to thank you so much. And he's got an email, ianbrown45@outlook.com. So if you're in the Liverpool area, he's going to be your best guy. Look up and get a great tour.
Absolutely. It's a hard day's night. Beatles tour, of course, in Liverpool. And you know what? It's 8 days a week. How about that?
But I'm bump.
Where's my drum stand? I'm going to turn it over to our girl, Lisa, coming to you from Las Vegas. She'll give the 800 number if you want to pop in here. And I know she wants to introduce our special guest this evening.
I do want to do that. Thank you so much. Ladies, you look so beautiful today. I'm sorry I'm losing my voice, but we've been talking to so many people lately. If you want to call in and ask Robert Ferguson today, our amazing guest, we want you to call in on our 800 number. It's toll free. It's 1-877-776-3985. It's right there in the screen. If you have any questions for him, we're also going to give you his handles at the end of the show today. But he is an amazing guest. We've had him on before, and he's back by popular demand. And the reason why is because he tells it like it is. I feel like that's like a radio voice today, Robert. He has a master's in psychology. He's also a clinical nutritionist. I love that everything that you do, Robert, is science-based and clinically proven. I hope I said it right, you know? And I love that he's you know, just so genuine, sincere in his delivery and in his message. You know, everything that he talks about, he has, you know, written articles, extensive articles. I think you wrote over 100 articles just this year. And, you know, it's all, you know, cited articles. You're NAACP nominated. You're a best-selling author, many published books, I believe over 6 books. And and I know you're a professional athlete, you know, world champion I think in some sort of martial arts. I can't remember, maybe Taekwondo, something like that. So maybe you could talk about that a little bit. And, you know, just love having you here today. My biggest thing right now that I'm excited about is all the inflammation that has left my body. And I know that these ladies also want to ask questions, and we'll probably have questions in the chat and different things like that, because we're also on Facebook Live and YouTube and all kinds of streaming platforms. But the inflammation has went down in my body so significantly right away. And I think that's a big piece for women that are struggling with so much inflammation in their body, and even men too, to that degree. And maybe I was thinking that you could just talk about that today with this balance oil that is so amazing that everybody in the US needs, because our diets are so messed up and because of the environment that we live in. So welcome, Mr. Robert Ferguson.
Well, it's good to be here. And I'm excited about our time today. So I'll do my very best to answer as many questions as possible. And if I don't have the answer, I have no problem saying I don't know.
Yep.
The wise man.
And thank you for your service, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you want to start? You guys want me to give you like an overview for starters, and then we kind of dive in?
Let's start there, and then we'll get into questions.
Okay. So the short of it, and as part of my intro, and thank you, Lisa, for the intro. And again, thank you all for giving me a chance to be on your platform. But I've been in the space of helping people lose weight, improve metabolic conditions, whether it's type 2 diabetes, blood pressure, etc., for 30 years as of this year. And I'm sharing that. And in addition to that, let me just say I've done 2 evidence-based clinical trials. I've worked with a lot of celebrities, a ton of pro athletes. I've done work with Aetna, Anthem, a lot of big corporations. And I wanted to share that because a year and a half ago, I came across what we're going to talk about. And it blew my mind because, in my opinion, and all that I've seen and witnessed, it is the most needed product and service that everybody needs. And I could debate that with anyone in the world at any time. And I hope that I'm able to share insight into it today that will give people an idea of what we're talking about as far as restored hope, that would help them with problems that are framed around inflammation, etc. So it blew my mind. There was 2 things that happened when I discovered this. One, I was a little embarrassed because I felt that with all that I was doing and had done and how active I am in the space of nutrition and health, it was surprising that I didn't know about it. And it had been available for about 14 years, going over in Europe, and for about 10 years in the United States. And once I got past my little, sad moment of being a little embarrassed, I got excited because I get to share this with people. And now we get to talk about it so that more people are aware of it. So let's dive in and let's go wherever you guys want to go. But it is 100% something that everybody will benefit from now and for the rest of their life.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Okay, can I say one thing? Okay, if we're going to jump right into it, I think it's important to say that this is test-based nutrition. And I think that's the foundation of this, Robert, is that people don't have to guess anymore. They can test so they can know exactly what their baseline is. Is that correct? Is that fair?
That is correct. So think about all the people who are taking some type of supplement, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And they're taking these supplements, but they don't know if they're working or not.
Right.
We're just guessing. And the reason what I mean when I say they don't know if they're working, like for instance, if you go to the doctor and the doctor notices you have certain symptoms, maybe you're tired, you don't have the same get up and go, and the doctor kind of looks at you and he goes, well, she's black, so there's a good likelihood that she's probably low in vitamin D. If she's Hispanic, probably so. And I'm only saying that because over 80% of black folks don't get an adequate amount of vitamin D. Over 70% of Latinos, Hispanics don't get enough. And then when you look at the general population, we're somewhere between 40 to 50% not getting enough vitamin D. So how do we confirm if you're getting enough? We can do a test. So they do a test and they go, yep, I figured you were low. And then you take a vitamin D supplement and then you come back in 3-4 months and now you're no longer insufficient. Well, now we can do that with these things called omega-3, which is an essential fatty acid. And once you look at this test, it also will tell you on a cellular level if the things that you're taking as far as supplements are actually getting into the cells. Because as part of the test is looking at your cell membrane. And the cell membrane is very important. And if it's rigid, meaning nutrients and oxygen aren't getting into the cells as well, then that means those supplements you've been spending all that money on aren't getting into the cells as well also.
Right.
So that right there alone is worth getting the test.
Yep.
So there's a test that I know Veronica did it, I did it, I believe Renee did it.
Yes.
Some of us have gotten our results back already. We're utilizing this product, which obviously we're getting great results on. Is there a way we can see a test? Like, can you show us one just so we can see what it is that we're actually supposed to be looking for? Because this is all new to me. The whole test-based nutrition seems to be the way to go, because why would you want to waste money on a bunch of supplements that you don't know if you need or not, or if are actually working? So there's the piece with the test, but then what it sounds like is there's a piece around the cell rigidity and cell fluidity that helps with actually getting these supplements in our body.
Right. Great
Fair
question.
assessment, right?
So if I could share my screen, I'll give you a snapshot of what a test looks like.
Yep.
So I'm sending a request,
Yep.
and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share you the results of one of my clients that I coached in nutrition. Her name is Linda. So let's bring up Linda. Everybody, can give me a thumbs up if you can see that?
Yep.
Okay. So this is Linda, and at this point, I had coached her in nutrition. We obviously lost half her body weight. We got off all of these drugs, and she's living her best and healthiest life. And this is when I discovered this test. And so I said, hey, Lisa, hey, Linda, I want you to do this test. And, she trusts me. So we did the test. Now, this is a snapshot of her test.
Wow.
Now, the test comes with this like a 20-page report.
Yeah.
And on page 5 of this report, you get the summation of what the test tells you. So this first number is 69 to 1. The 69 is for this thing called omega-6, and the 1 is omega-3. They're both essential oils, and you don't want 69. What you want is something 3 or lower, right? 3 or lower. So this was a snapshot that she was not in balance, even though she looked better and felt better. And then if you look at the very bottom where it says omega-3 index, you want this number to be 8 to 12%. And when I say you want that, is that when is that percentage from 8 to 12%? On average, people live 5 years longer without disease. Anyone who's under 4%, which means you're extremely deficient, like she was at the time, and that can set you up for a whole bunch of autoimmune conditions and many health conditions. And if you go over to the right where it says mental strength, this is giving you a snapshot of what's taking place from the neck up. So for instance, if you don't have enough omega-3 in your eyes, then that can lean toward you having dry eye. So 32 of my clients used to live with dry eye, and today they no longer have it. And the only thing that changed in their life is that they started taking the balance oil that goes with the test. Also, this is a snapshot of where you are as far as the likelihood of experiencing dementia or Alzheimer's. It speaks to what's taking place in your mouth. A lot of people have inflammation there. And then if you go over to the right, which is the highlight of what Lisa brought up, is cell membrane fluidity. If a person just got the test for this reason right here, this speaks volumes, because if you look at my fist, think of my fist as a cell. And inside of that cell, you have mitochondria, you got a whole bunch of activity going on, and we want to have healthy cells.
Right.
So, and it's inside. Now, what's going to fuel that is the nutrients and oxygen that can get inside. But my other hand, I'm wrapping on top, because this is the cell membrane.
Right.
And if that cell membrane is rigid, that means that nutrients and oxygen can't easily get inside to make that cell healthy and get it to do what we need it to do. And the built up waste has a tough time getting out. So if you have a rigid cell membrane like she did right here, you're not optimizing your health on a cellular level. It's not happening. The proof is in the pudding. So you want this to go from red to green, which means now that membrane becomes fluid. So oxygen and nutrients can get inside of the cell, and all the things that need to be like fueled gets fueled. And then to the right of that, you have what we call arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid is omega-6 fatty acids, and when you get too much of it, like in this case, it can cause a ton of health problems, to include increased risk of heart attack, increased risk of stroke, increased risk of blood clots, and increased risk of narrowing of the arteries. So she's inflamed. So you take the balance oil for 4 months. That's the life of a red blood cell. And let me give you a snapshot of what happened in her life. She went from 69 to 1 in 120 days to 5.9 to 1.
Wow.
Nice.
So we're now in the yellow, which is a good sign. 2 months later, she took another test because she was excited to see it get better. She goes to 3.6 to 1. And then she took another test, and in her situation, inside of 8 months, she's in balance. And if you notice the bottom right, she no longer is in the red with the arachidonic acid. So now we have reduced risk of blood clots, stroke, and heart attack. And now the far left, and this is the last one I'll show you, she's 6.9%. You want that to be 8 to 12%. And that's where people live the longest, and they live the longest without disease. If you're 8% or higher, she's now 8%. So what happens is when you start taking the balance oil, it's getting into your cell membrane where all of this is taking place. It's getting into your tissues. Inflammation starts to come down. And this is not just some omega-3. What makes it wonderful is that it has a patented process to it where they take polyphenols, which are like antioxidants, and they blend it in the right amount. And it's the omega-3s with the polyphenols that makes it work so efficiently. So there you go.
So amazing.
I hope I didn't go too long.
No. It's a lot of information. Veronica, do you want to say anything to that? Because I know you had the test done.
Right. You know what? Okay, so this is a baseline test, correct, Robert?
That is correct.
And mine just came back a few days ago, and I was lucky enough. I know you have my results, Robert. If so, I have no issue showing them, but I came back a 13 to 1. And I started off in the yellow already, but I eat salmon, I eat seafood. I mean, I eat fish all the time.
Right.
I'm not a meat, but I knew I was going to be out of balance. However, coming back yellow, it's like I got that little leap of faith that, like I'm doing this, and I know what's my chances of getting into the green sooner than later.
The turnover of a red blood cell is 120 days, plus or minus 20. So we're gonna know. I believe you will be in the green mostly because your numbers, as you can see, Linda was 69 to 1. I mean, that's up there. But if you're consistent, you're filling that nutrition gap of omega-3.
Right.
We live in a world right now where people are not getting enough omega-3, and most people aren't like you that eat fish very often.
Right.
And if you're eating a lot of farm-raised fish, then it's probably going to take even longer. So the good news is that you're going to feel that faster. Some people it's going to take a little longer, but as a result, like one of my clients who had insulin resistance, and when you have insulin resistance, losing weight can be very challenging.
Right.
Well, fast forward, we saw her cell membrane go from red to the green, which means everything is getting in better. We also saw at that same time, she's no longer insulin resistant. And she dropped like 20 pounds right after that.
Right.
So, I mean, cellular health is where everything begins. And if you don't have that, you're just fooling yourself.
So for someone who's a diabetic, Robert, that, they don't want to get to that insulin, they haven't, what's that?
Resistance.
Yeah, the insulin resistance and whatnot. what would you suggest as far as, I mean, eating clean? When I say eat clean, very healthy, I eat fresh fruits and vegetables and, excuse me. I eat wild salmon and anything that's wild. But for someone who's a diabetic and they want to maybe get off of diabetic medicine or something like that, what's your take on that?
Now are we talking about the balance oil's role in that?
Yes, with the balance
Okay.
oil.
Okay, no matter what your condition, no matter if you don't have a condition, you want to get tested and you want to get on the balance oil. If someone does not get on the balance oil, once they see how the test works, I don't know if you call that just downright stupid, over the top ignorant. I mean, we know that people will smoke even though the warning on the cigarettes say this
Right.
may lead to cancer. So we know not everyone's going to really care about their health.
Right.
But if anyone wants to maximize health, wants to maximize longevity, wants to reduce the risk of all of these conditions people are living with, stuff that they have like gout and lupus and Graves' disease, Hashimoto's, anything framed around inflammation, right? Because you got to go and fix the inflammation if you want to improve any of those conditions. Otherwise, you're just putting a Band-Aid on whatever it is.
Right.
So whether it's MS, I have seen kids, right? We test and they're nonverbal, they're 9 years old. We do their test, they're 45-1.
Yeah.
They get on the product 4 months, 5 months later, the kid is now talking. The kid couldn't draw inside the lines in the coloring book. Now the kid can. And mama is hearing, I love you for the first time. So anyone who has an autistic kid, Lord, bless these people to wake up and learn about this.
Yeah.
Because this is needed. Because autism, right? We're talking brain health. Omega-3s, if you don't have enough of it, certain things show up. If you want to improve and get rid of brain fog, that's in the brain.
Right.
If you don't want to be a challenge for your kids and you don't want dementia, why wouldn't you reduce the risk of that? I mean, if you look at the Do Health study, for instance, which was done quite a few years ago, a very long study, it came out in this study. It was a randomized placebo-controlled trial, which is the gold standard. They demonstrated that you can reduce the risk of all cancers by 61% by doing 3 things. Exercise, make sure you're not low in vitamin D, and make sure you're not low in omega-3. And most people don't even know this.
Well, when I first talked to you, Robert, I was in we were sitting right next to Lisa, and we were watching you on a Facebook presentation about what's going on with nutrition and all this stuff. And it made so much sense to me when you said about the fluidity of the cells, because I have been doing everything right for a very, very long time. Yet there are certain things that I haven't been able to get my body to adjust to. So when you talked about the cells not having that fluidity, that made total sense to me. That just was like a rocket went off in my brain. I thought, how fabulous. So I got my test back, and mine was 11-1. And when I saw you had a doctor on a few weeks ago that we were talking about, and hers were like 52-1. And I thought, I'm doing pretty good, And, but I choose to not eat sugar and to eat right and to do all those other things. So I'm excited to see. I'm in the middle of my 2nd month, so I'm excited to see my retest at 4 months.
Well, you want to know something that's also interesting? Because I've tested a lot of doctors. Not one of them has ever been in balance. I've also tested a lot of pro athletes with 6% body fat, and they're usually 50-70-1.
Wow.
Oh, really?
And so what a lot of people don't know is that exercise has a lot of benefits, right? And exercise, when you're exercising, it's like a shield that will help reduce the risk of a lot of health challenges. However, it's just a shield. Right. Because you're still deficient in omega-3. And as soon as you take off just a little bit, you become extremely susceptible to every condition that we're talking about. So these people who think that the way I look and what my weight is on the scale means that I'm healthy,
Mhm.
you know, we see it all the time. What? She works out all the time. She had a stroke? What? Heart attack? Wow, blood clot? That guy works out all the time. So
what's the
this
age
test is
range?
key.
So what's the age range of who could take this oil?
Everybody. Like
Okay.
I have these two autistic kids. They're twins, girls, and they weren't sleeping throughout the night. They didn't have regularity with bowel movements. And of course, they have moments where they just stare. So full spectrum, I mean, autistic. These kids now, and they both were over 70-1. These kids, both of them are sleeping through the night. Both of them have regular bowel movements, and their behavior has improved dramatically.
That's awesome.
What's the youngest?
So, two.
The youngest child. Oh, two. Really? Okay.
Yep. And they have different versions of it, right? So they have a tutti frutti version.
Yeah.
I mean, I've used it. It's okay. My kids, they both started with the regular oil because there's no burp up, there's no bad taste to it. You can blend it with water. You could put it in a smoothie. You could hide it if you felt you needed to do that, or you could take a capsule.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, this is game changing. I mean, you know how like when we talk about hormones, for instance, like I did a whole talk on helping women who are dealing with perimenopause and who are postmenopausal, right? And when you look at how estrogen is created, there's multiple cells that are part of the deal, and they all have membranes. So if you don't have an adequate amount of omega-3, guess what? You are going to be low in estrogen. So then the doctor, you go in and meet with the doctor, they just look at the fact that, okay, you're low in estrogen, we're going to put in some, get you on some progesterone. Well, you never looked at the root cause, right? It's kind of like I had this lady come to me whose daughter was getting iron infusions because she just wasn't getting iron. So they tried the pills, then they did the iron infusions. She couldn't go to school. She was always tired. And I said, did you know that if you don't have an adequate amount of omega-3 in the cell membrane, that you cannot reduce and optimize iron through food? So you lose about 30% of the absorption of iron. So we looked at her numbers. The little girl was like 53-1. She's
Wow.
now in balance. She has an adequate amount of omega-3. And guess what? No more iron infusions.
Wow.
That's pretty
So
exciting.
it touches on every part of health. And it makes you just go, why is this happening? And why are we just now learning about this? This, like, it seems like it touches every part of health. The way our eyes, how we think, everything. But yet no one's talking about it.
Right.
And we're
Right.
all deficient.
So Robert, let me ask you, you said you've tested doctors, MDs, presume you're talking about,
Yes.
and what was their reaction to their results? And did they continue thereafter? Or, I mean, doctors have sort of a natural, not such a good obsession with this kind of thing. They can cure you with medicines and things like that, but nothing so much back as what you're proposing or what you're doing. What was their response?
Well, I'll tell you, I had a very fun moment with a bunch of doctors. It was 17 cardiologists. And I'm putting together this trial. And so as part of the preparation, I had to do a presentation on the markers that we're going to track inside of this trial I'm doing. And so they saw cholesterol panel. Of course, we're looking at blood pressure. And then I also had omega-6 to 3 ratio, omega-3 index, arachidonic acid. So one of the doctors said, hey, I noticed you have omega-6 to 3. You're tracking that? I go, absolutely. Then they started asking questions. Then I pulled up the slides and gave them this presentation. All 17 of them, when I was done, became my customer. All of them. They all got the tests. And 3 of them have just become a partner in the company so they can make it available to their constituents.
Wow.
So anytime I present it to physicians, 100% they're on board. 100%. Because it makes sense. They do. I mean, we can give doctors a hard time, but they do have a strong level of learning. And so they're like scientists. Once it's presented to them, they pick it up. So the big question is always like, well, how do we know this is real? Like the results, where do they come from? Well, they come from this laboratory in Norway called Vetus. Vetus is the #1 laboratory in the world that does this testing. They are superior than anyone. It's called dry blood spot testing. Harvard uses them. Yale uses them, Tufts University, the Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, World Health Organization, National Institute of Health. They all use this lab, and our tests go directly to this lab. And the company that does the testing, they've done more of this testing than anyone in the world. They are the leader. So it's just a matter of time before the word gets out and people become aware of this. And once they become aware of it, then you can't unsee it. You know, it's kind of like going back to, let's say, 1986, and you have an iPhone. You say, hey, everybody, check this out. Right? They go, what?
Robert, let me ask you, once you get in balance, and that's 8 months to some period of time, depending on your deficiencies, is this a lifelong then experience? You continue to take the oil?
Yep.
What's the price of this? What's the blood test and the oil?
Well, the test and the oil, I believe the prices are perfect. $115
$115.
to get the test and your first month's supply of the oil.
And thereafter?
So then after that, you pay $45 a month to get your bottle of the oil. And then it gets better. I feel like an infomercial right now. Because after 4 months, they're going to mail you a free test so you can do a before and after comparison.
See, that impressed me
Yeah,
so
that
much,
was-
Robert. You know, to be able to test ahead of time when you start something and then get the results 4
Yeah.
months later. That's amazing to me. That works for me.
It changes the whole game.
Yeah.
And then it's going to get better come October because they're coming out with a gut microbiome test.
Ooh.
And you prick your finger the same. The technology behind it is going to change everything.
That's awesome.
And, you know, we have your basic test that we do through the dry blood spot testing for like vitamin D deficiency. So you could do that at home the same. You can do the same thing with your hemoglobin A1C if you're a type 2 diabetic or you just want to know what your numbers are.
That's pretty exciting. Really is.
It's, I'm telling you, when I first discovered all of this, I literally like couldn't sleep. I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is so amazing. It's a game changer for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Because once you fill that void that we have with omega-3, so many things will improve. Like, so many things.
Well,
Right?
we've
It's the
been
same.
working with hormones, and we've seen that changing your hormones and getting your body to start producing hormones again has made such a huge difference.
Right.
So we're
Amen.
seeing this roll out with balance oil as well. And we just can't imagine how many people we're going to be able to help. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the nitty gritty for our power hours. We want to help as many people as we possibly can.
Love it.
And have as much fun as possible on the way
Yeah.
of doing it. So, you know, that's part of it for us as well.
And we can work around the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Work around everywhere.
Meet amazing
Wait, you know,
people.
like now here's a fun insight. And again, all of this is substantiated. Anything that I'm sharing, and if anybody ever wanted a white paper or they want, you know, some of the materials, I make all that available to them.
Of
But
course.
but when it comes to omega-3s, and this may be a damper on the whole conversation, but when you drink alcohol, especially in excess, it basically destroys the positives of the omega-3s that you're putting in your body.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right, all you kids out there.
But it's
You're
also
You're about 1 Murphy's a week.
but it's also a reminder that if you are going to drink alcohol, make sure you take your balance oil.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you
Sure.
And so here's two other things for you guys to know about the balance oil. Number one, omega-3s are what they call a prebiotic.
Right.
Prebiotics helps your gut be healthier, which in Lisa's experience with her stomach flattening out and inflammation going down, when you improve the gut health, that is one of the side effects, is that your waist gets smaller.
I like
Uh,
that idea. Can't wait.
Okay.
Oh,
Can't wait.
Jean's gonna show you. Yeah, that was
Oh my goodness, Lisa, that's awesome.
yeah.
That
So
is
it's like flat
awesome.
as a pancake now, and I could
Wait a
just
minute,
like
that's my
never get that off. What did you say, Veronica?
Wait, that's my stomach.
It could be. I have no
Oh, yeah.
idea.
Love
It's
it.
taking me a minute to get there, but you know what? It's totally worth it.
Love it. Love it.
Nice.
Oh,
So
well,
yeah, the inflammation thing was huge. Robert, I don't know if somebody had a question. Jean had, or there might have been one that came in through the chat on Facebook. I don't know, Jean, if there was or not.
No,
If there
I was gonna ask Robert to touch on the laboratory test being third party, and then touch on that second test and how vital that is, and how that the company believes in their product so much to have that second test for free. And he ran right into those, so I didn't need to say anything.
there you go.
Okay, good.
Does anybody else have any questions here?
stuff.
Just
Well,
take
you know,
yourself
Robert-
off mute and you can ask Robert a question if you have one.
Robert, I'm doing the oil, right, with the water, with the shot glass. And you mentioned that it comes in a capsule, and also, do you have a bottle right there in front of you besides this one, the premium one? The white one, do you happen to have one?
I
there?
do not have it in front of me.
Okay, that's okay.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Well,
well,
we're
ladies
using
and gentlemen, you
capsules for our
don't have to
trip.
eat salmon anymore. That's okay.
We
And
love
this
salmon.
is a wild caught salmon. And so, but you know, I love this product so much. I mean, I've only been taking it for like a week, but it seems like in the US that we get results really quickly with this product. Can you maybe just shed some light on why that is?
Well-
That other parts of the world, it might take longer, but in the US, we're getting results within 3 to 4 days.
Well, when you look at the United States, actually North America, we're so out of balance. The food is so over the top enriched with omega-6s that people call seed oils,
Yeah.
and the fact that we're just not getting enough omega-3s. So if you went back to 1960, for instance, we know that on average, people were around 4 to 1. So we were getting way more omega-3s in 1960. And today we're like 40 to 1, 25 to 1, 97 to 1. So people are so out of balance, and a lot of that has taken place because of the food quality. So when people start getting these omega-3s with the polyphenols, they're seeing in a pretty quick period of time, 4 days, 7 days, less than 2 weeks, dry eyes not the same, inflammation's down, because we've been so insufficient with it for so long that as soon as we get it, our body's just soaking it up. And even I've seen people who were, let's say, 40 to 1, and they start taking the balance oil for 2 weeks and go ahead and they do a test 2 weeks later, they're like 11 to 1.
Wow.
So it starts working, day one. So it
Right.
doesn't surprise me that you had that experience, Lisa.
So Robert, let me ask you, once you're on the program, are there also foods that you should maybe be eating to supplement the effort, or foods that you should avoid?
Man, this guy's great. You need to have him on the.
Hey, he's a criminal lawyer.
I'm not
just
criminal,
think-
I'm just teasing.
It's like, look, they found this guy in London walking around.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. He named it.
We put me into and
Yeah.
absolutely, Ian. We love you. We shared all your stuff. So
No,
Yeah.
great question. So yes, one, you want to keep an eye out for these things called seed oils because they're high in omega-6. And I'm talking about grapeseed oil, corn oil, vegetable oil. A lot of these oils are a huge part of the problem. Soybean oil is the most consumed edible oil in the United States, and none of us have ever gone to the store and bought it. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, why are so many people getting soybean oil? It's in everything.
It's in
You
all
go
of
buy
our
some crackers, it's in there. You get some tortillas because you're gonna make some at home, it's in there. You got mayonnaise, it's in there. And so the accumulative effect of all of these omega-6 seed oils creates a big part of the problem. So you want to avoid those the best you possibly can and stick with regular or oils that are extra virgin like palm oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Those are great ones. Avocado oil, if you can find an extra virgin one. So those are great. Butter, lard, tallow. Those are also good to cook with, even though for years they've been telling us to avoid saturated fat. The truth is clear now more than ever that saturated fat has not been the problem. And you're going to see that change with the updated U.S. dietary guidelines that come out in 2026.
Yeah, well,
We had an amazing example when we were at the St. Erman's Hotel
yeah.
in London. We got room service fish and chips,
Yes.
and we got mayonnaise and we got ketchup, and neither one of those products had
No.
any of those bad oils in it.
No, it was
So
Wow.
they manufacture so differently over here in Europe compared to the way we manufacture in the US. So in fact, we took pictures of
Yeah.
the labels to share with you for when we
Yeah.
got back home. So
Oh, I can't
yeah.
wait to see that.
Yeah, we were really impressed, really impressed. So we've been watching it. It's new to us. It's new to us making those choices that are different. Even though we've made a lot of really good choices, we're finding out different things. It's like oatmeal. I cannot eat oatmeal at home at all because it raises my blood sugar too much. I had oatmeal this morning. It didn't raise my blood sugar at all.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there are things that are different for a lot of other reasons as well. So I think we're at a disadvantage in the US that we don't have any more regulations.
I have to
Well, you know
show,
what?
I
I'll go
have
ahead.
to show it to you this way because I'm having issues with my internet. So here, can you read that? It's just tomato, spices, and that's their ketchup label. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can. I mean, a little bit. I would have to blow it up.
Yeah,
We'll
it says-
send it to
It
you.
says tomato vinegar, sugar, salt, spice, and that's it.
And that's it. That's all that's in their ketchup.
Yeah.
Nice.
Even in their mayo, it's what about rapeseed oil?
Rapeseed oil.
Well, that's canola oil.
Oh, okay, really? Okay.
Yeah. Now, canola oil is lower in linoleic acid, which is the omega-6.
Okay.
So it's a better version than if it was soybean oil or safflower or sunflower.
Okay, and it just said water, vinegar, and egg yolk, and sugar, salt.
There, sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, Robert, one thing about Americans, obviously, most also are pretty much big meat eaters, red meat. Good, bad, what's your thoughts?
I'm totally good with red meat, all meats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like my only concern with some of the meat, and the same as the eggs, is what were those hens fed?
Right.
So if they were given a feed that was very high in omega-6, the seed oils, then in that egg we're going to get more seed oils. If the cows were fed grass, if it's grass fed, you're going to have more omega-3 in that cow compared to the one that was fed corn. So this kind of helps people realize, oh, so grass fed is better. Absolutely.
Okay.
1000%.
And products, we were also talking about things that were packaged as organic,
Right.
that was a better choice. Is that
Not
correct?
really.
Oh, not really. Okay.
No. Well, I mean, like when it comes down to it, because they've done tests, like with eggs, for instance, it can say organic all day. Now, that does mean it's a step better as far as maybe did they add Roundup to it, but it doesn't mean it's going to play a role in the omega-6 to 3 ratios.
Okay.
it plays no role at all. Actually, there's one brand, and I'm not going to mention them, that a lot of people buy is pasture raised, and so they assume that you're going to get a better quality egg when it comes to omega-6 to 3 ratio.
Right.
But in reality, it's still bad. It's horrible. It's equivalent to doing about, I think, a couple tablespoons of canola oil.
Wow.
Wow.
So through the food, we're getting a whole bunch of omega-6.
Gotcha.
And because of the quality and how they've been fed, we're not getting as much omega-3 as we did in 1960. So that changes the game. So if you were ever going to supplement with any kind of supplement, it would be balance oil.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's no way I'm going a day without balance oil.
Nah,
Robert,
me
what
either.
about pasta, breads?
I love pasta and bread.
Good or bad, and what kind?
You know, I'm working with Veronica, and she can share with you more about this, but it comes down to learning how to combine foods properly
Yeah.
to get a better result.
Yeah.
So you can eat pasta, you can eat pizza, you can eat bread. It just, what are you eating with it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So case in point, if you were to eat a burger and you had the bread with it, are you also eating fries? And those two together, fries with bread, is going to set you up for gaining some body fat. So if you want the fries, then get a lettuce wrap.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have what we call too fast carbs.
Right.
But if you, like when I eat a burger, I really want the bread. So I don't eat the fries.
Okay.
So once you learn that, there's nothing you can't eat to optimize health.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
great.
Opt
So
for the
exciting.
lettuce wrap and the fries.
Yes.
Switching it out. Switch it up.
And you know,
Lisa's-
and here's something that the
Lisa's
world
blood
needs to
sugar,
know.
right?
Okay, the world needs to know this. The problem is not sugar. It's not. The problem that we're running into is that we don't know how to eat in a way to optimize insulin, which is a hormone. So what I like to look at is the sugar response to food and the insulin response to food. So I'm going to give you guys a quiz. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, the quiz is this. I want you to imagine there's a hamburger patty in front of me. And then I have some fruit, blueberries, strawberries, watermelon on the other side. Which of these foods would cause the greater insulin response?
I know.
The hamburger patty or the fruit?
The fruit.
Fruit.
And you both are wrong.
No.
We can eat
Good.
fruit.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, now
Beef
and
patty.
trust me, I've interviewed and done that, put that question in front of top
Yeah,
execs,
I was going to
the
say.
Aetnas, the
that one.
Anthems, doctors, they all get it wrong because their brain is so focused on sugar
Yeah.
that they don't even hear my words when I say I'm looking at the insulin response.
Oh, gotcha.
And insulin is the primary driver for weight gain and a whole bunch of health conditions. But no one's looking at insulin. You go to your doctor, they look at fasting glucose.
Yeah.
They're not even thinking insulin, and that's the culprit. When insulin, before you were a type 2 diabetic, you had to have had hyperinsulinemia, which means elevated insulin in your blood. If we had addressed it then, you would have never become a diabetic.
Right.
But they don't check that. So it's the insulin response. Like another example, I'll see someone drinking celery juice. And in their mind, they're going, I'm doing the right thing. Celery juice causes insulin resistance.
It changes the whole. doesn't
Changes it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole.
And I can show you studies where, like I have a study like in my food as medicine course that I just recently did. I took everybody back to 1964, showed them step by step when all this was discovered.
Right.
And it's all substantiated. It's all right there. But there's no money in you knowing the truth. The money is keep focusing on sugar. Sugar's the problem. Everybody gets sugar. Same as probiotics. Look at all the billions of dollars being made with probiotics. And we know conclusively that
Right.
probiotics damage the gut. Conclusively. but yet everybody's taking a probiotic instead of a prebiotic.
So can the balance oil, so you're taking, hypothetical, A, B, C, D, E, F, G vitamins. Can the balance oil wipe those out, supplement, get rid of those supplements and just have the balance oil?
No, because it's kind of like when people got scurvy, they weren't getting enough vitamin C.
Okay.
So we knew that if you don't get enough vitamin C, it leads to a lot of problems. So back in the day when this was happening with all those long ship rides, they realized we got to make sure we keep limes and lemons on these boats.
Gotta have fruit on these ships.
We don't want to get scurvy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So balanced oil it does what it does, and you still need all these other things like vitamin D.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what scurvy is.
So, but it's fascinating. And I love, like, when I get to, like, when I do these presentations, trust me, I have to be in a position where I'm Katie Couric approved, right? Because I'm bringing up things that is coming to people for the first time and they're going to question it. The good news today is that we have AI and Chat GPT, and on the spot, people can fact check.
Yeah.
And I love that. Love it, because it makes my life that much easier, and then I get everyone's attention that much better.
Yeah. Well, Robert, you sure have been a wealth of information tonight. Thank you.
Yeah. So one last question, and you can take us out on this, Robert. How would someone get started on this?
Well, if I were them, I would contact you guys.
Hey.
Perfect.
And I would do it like sooner than later, because
Yeah.
I would get the test, right?
Yeah.
And with your first month's bottle of oil,
There we go.
and then you're on your way, and it all makes sense.
Victor?
Yep.
All right.
There we go.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Lisa,
Good.
go ahead, honey.
Good stuff. Well, you know what? I'm just happy that I don't have to eat all this salmon and cook it. Literally, I've got 2 freezers full. There's so much salmon in this house right now. It's like, it's everywhere. We have it everywhere. But
Now,
love,
Lisa, before we go, can I ask you, like,
Yes.
with your mom, does she eat a lot of salmon?
yes, a ton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
salmon.
And
Well,
so-
I look forward to. So I had one gentleman who was 102 years old.
Wow.
He fishes every day.
Mm.
He eats fish every day. Maybe one day he'll miss. He fishes in the backyard where he lives in Florida for catfish.
Mhm.
And when we tested him, he was 3.1 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're going to eat fish that often, you could probably get in balance without taking the balance oil.
Well,
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of people that eat fish every day.
Oh, my mom's calling right now. That's so funny. We should
Well,
talk.
I do want to also thank our hop-ons today. If you're listening for the
Yes.
first time or haven't been on here before, you can scan our QR code and get into our group and have some good, healthy discussions. And Ian, we want to thank you again today for the magnificent day we had today. And again, that's Ian Brown 45 at outlook.com. If you're going to be in the Liverpool area, give him a email, check him out, and make sure you get on his tour. It's fascinating, funny, and fabulous.
Yes.
And we had a great time today, Ian. So thank you so much for joining us tonight too.
And don't remember, don't remember, don't forget, I meant.
It's 11 p.m. here, you guys.
Oh, it's after that. It's now 12.
Now 12. Oh, yes, again.
Same place, same time, next week, Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Scan our QR code. And if you want to join our Facebook and you want to get this balance oil, reach out to one of us, please. There is an 800 number at 877-776-3985. I hope everybody has an amazing evening, and we're going to say goodbye from the ocean here. I
Yes.
believe we're in the Irish Sea. It is.
Bye, Ian. Bye,
It's
Gloria.
almost 12 o'clock.
Bye.
here.
I love it. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Robert.
Bye, everybody. Love you all.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care,
Everybody.
Now. He's
Pray for
great.
me, please. Pray for me. Hey.
Gosh, that was great.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh
Uh,
my gosh. Anybody else have any other questions?